hello everyone, and hopefully things are working fine. As usual, just give thanks to Streambeats for providing such fantastic free and copyright-free music. Always love to show them some love. The website is currently under construction, so if you can, just go to Spotify and just look for Streambeats. Some of the other channels will pop up. When you go to the direct website, they are currently doing what we're doing, which is giving their webpage a facelift. Alright, as usual, guys, please check out our YouTube channel. I know right now we slowed down a little bit on content, but it's because we are currently working on our webpage. Also, right here, check us out on Instagram as well. So those are 3 major social media platforms that we're currently using. So please, show us some love. I am feeling a little bit better. I did try to draw yesterday, and it was not happening. I was having just a horrible sinus infection, and it was bad. I had to make myself a cocktail of medicine just so I could just sleep and get some rest. And luckily for me, I'm very fortunate. I get to work from home most days, so it wasn't too bad. But man, I was not feeling well yesterday. Foggy, groggy, you name it, I had it. It was not a fun day for me. All right, so today I want to work on a scene involving both Wobbles and Walker. They are twins, and what I really want to do is kind of show like a brother and sister scenario where they are working on a ship, and one of them. So Walker is practically the weapons specialist, so weapons maintenance warrant officer. They're both kind of warrant officers. And Wobbles is a mechanical engineer, mainly a ship mechanical engineer. So he is a mechanic / mechanical engineer who has to deal with all these elements. If you know what that is, mechanical engineer is absolutely fascinating. I wish I had the capacity to do it. But you're dealing with creating engines and having materials and all kinds of stuff. So they're a brother and sister duo. They are twins. So I want to create a scene where they're fixing like a ship, and I want to show them just kind of having a good time. So let me see. I was thinking maybe this is like some gun turrets. First of all, let me figure out my horizon line, my vanishing point. Always figure those things out, kids. Because it'll literally make your image way more relevant. Okay, so this is a ship. Okay, so maybe this is some of the side turrets. See, and this is where this gets fun. So you have maybe a propulsion engine here, and then you have maybe like a maybe like a gunner seat. Okay, and I'm brainstorming as I'm doing this, guys. I'm kind of, that's why this doesn't look right. That's the second vanishing point. This is the main vanishing point right there. Okay, so you have this right here. Kind of think of a ship that is open. So right here you have the side turrets, but then the wing is back here. That's pretty much how my brain's trying to lay out the ship a little bit. Think of like how you see like Chinooks. Not Chinooks, so Chinook. Anyway, the giant, I think it's a C-140s that they have like the giant like Vulcans coming out of it. I could be wrong. I'm not in the military, but I've seen them. They're just dope as hell. Like, I love looking at some of that military weaponry. I'm just absolutely fascinated by it. Okay, so this is pretty much going to be the scene. If I could go back in time, I would probably still be an artist, but I would have loved to gone into robotics. Sadly, I grew up, my parents had me old, and they're children of the Depression. So in their minds, my only goal as a girl was to only be a housewife, or nothing technical. Even though I always had a good grip for it, but it is what it is. I cannot be mad at it. But if I were to go back, I'll probably go for robotics or engineering. And yeah, can I go back to school right now for it? Absolutely. Do I feel like putting myself at 41 to go back to 10 years of schooling to be graduating at 50? I'm good. I might do it on my own, but you know what? I'm doing okay. Kind of like, I love animation. I still love doing it, even though I'm doing something completely different right now for a living. But you know what? Bills still keep coming, and your family members still require food and shelter. So sometimes you have to kind of do the non-fun thing, Okay. There we go. So it looks like she's going to be here and he's going to be down here. And that's what I want to do. I want to do this really fun scene where you see a toolbox. And then some, obviously these are digital schematics. Even though you know what you're doing, it's still really good to have instructions laying around. Some fluids. And then some crazy ass tools laying around here and there, like a wrench, some screws, maybe a couple pumps around with different materials. If you ever been to a airplane hangar, it's actually quite fascinating. You get to see like all kinds of tools and all cool stuff. I love going to a lot of like museums, and I have friends that they fly, so I get exposed to some of these environments, and it's like, oh, it must be boring for you. It's like, no, absolutely, I love being around those environments because it gives me a chance to see it in person and see how things work. Okay, now right here, let's go ahead and yeah, the best teacher in life is life experience, legit. I'll toast to that to the day I die. Okay, so she is going to be sitting. Anyway, this is a pretty big scene. So normally I've been doing just some very hyper-focused close-ups. But now I want to do a little bit more of some environment work. And I want her to be holding like a coffee cup. And what I want to do is show her and like Wobbles kind of having like a bonding moment. And you're very fortunate to have a sibling that you get along with, because that's an important part too. You get to sometimes enjoy these few little minute moments. Love your family, cherish them. This time of the year, I'm very fortunate that, yeah, most of my family is long gone, and I mean like long gone, like in heaven. But I have a lot of friends that have adopted me like family, and I'm very grateful. They always look after me, and I simply cannot complain. Does it make me sad? Yeah. Do I spend a lot of holidays by myself? Yeah, because last thing I want to do is intrude in somebody's holiday. But I'm cool with that. Okay, it doesn't feel like he is big enough. Holidays gives me time to really reflect and reset myself in more than one way. And honestly, it gives me a chance to catch up on my taxes. You laugh, but I have my what I call my Thanksgiving pizza. I have been doing this tradition now for like 7 years. I go to the store, I don't even worry about getting a turkey or anything because it's just me, so there's no point doing a big meal. And yeah, I could go to someone else's Thanksgiving, but honestly, like, it's always really weird when people ask you, like, hey, you know, how come you're not spending time with your family? And like, well, my family's kind of dead, so yeah, it's always like that awkward conversation. So I try not to like invade anybody else's Thanksgiving. Um, and luckily for me, a lot of people are pretty cool about that. But yeah, I still got my sister. I'm sorry I keep saying so much. Sorry. It's something I have been working on. But no, I mean, this year, if you can, guys, we've been through COVID. We've been through a lot. And I know sometimes there's some family gripes that are legit. Like, you know, if a family member hurt another injured family member, I gotcha. You know, you don't have to, you know, obviously make amends on my behalf for sure because every situation is different. However, if you guys are fighting over something like real dumb, you know, get over it. Get fuck over it. Be the bigger person. And, you know, reconnect with that family member. Because a lot of the times, if you really think about it, some of the stuff people are mad about is so fucking dumb. They don't even remember why they were fighting to begin with. So, yeah. So, usually tell folks, if it's something like a silly gripe, just do what you need to do, man. Just be the bigger person. Let shit go. Obviously, don't let them take advantage of you. That's the situation. But, you know, just simply you know, just let things go and enjoy your family while you haven't. Because once they're gone, they're gone. And it's really weird when you have them, like, talking to you and then suddenly they're not available. And I mean, like, completely not available. Now that they're sick, now that they moved away, it's like you can never talk to them again. And I've lost a lot of friends, too, throughout the years to malpractice and cancer and all kinds of stuff. So I never really take my time with my friends for granted. I never do. I try to be kind. I know sometimes I lose my temper, but that's just normal. People, you know, I've had a lot on my plate, you know? So, especially as I was a caregiver and all kinds of stuff, so yeah. But yeah, I never take people for granted. I try to do my best. And I do come across as mean as an asshole sometimes, that is for sure. But most of the time when people stop and they actually listen to what I'm saying, I'm just trying to push folks to do better. And I wish somebody would have pushed me to do better when I was younger. And I kind of did it on my own, you know. Luckily for me, I figured out that if I didn't push myself, no one will. But I know sometimes folks need help, you know. Not everybody can be self-motivated. For me, I was self-motivated because I didn't want to starve in the streets. That's pretty much what it came down to. I lived in some rough areas, including like near Section 8 housing when I was younger. That is not a life for anybody. Like, there's nothing wrong with Section 8 housing, but anybody that's lived near to them, they could tell you it can get pretty scary sometimes. So I purposely made sure I did not become a permanent resident or got stuck in that mindset. So I got out. And we all fall. You know, don't think just because you're well off now doesn't mean that there's no chance for you to fall on your face. Never say never. I've known people that they had everything and then suddenly... In finance, there is the 3 Ds. It's called death, divorce, and disease. And let me tell you what, if you deal with any of those, which I've dealt with all 3 of them, I've survived 2 divorces, I've dealt with death in my family, and I've dealt with disease, both on my own and my family. And it could be just, you don't realize how much of a paycheck to paycheck you are until you're in that situation. So even to my female friends, and this is especially, I mainly talk to my female friends, but not all of them, I usually tell them, it's like, look, even if you're at home, a stay-at-home mom, which is honorable, I think it's great that you're doing that. You want to make sure you're there for your kids. Make sure you're still learning some skills, because I've seen it too many times where they think things are okie-dory, and then suddenly the spouse goes, oh, I'm bored, and then they leave, you know, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? So, yeah, so make sure you are, even if you don't need to, make sure you are going to community college. Make sure you get some skill set, and this is whether you are a male or female caregiver. Make sure you're working those skills, because you never know. I met a lady the other day that at 50, she found herself, her husband just decided to walk away. And now 50 years old, she's learning how to work as an adult because she never had to. So it's put her in this really rough situation. And most people think it's like, it'll never happen to me. No, it can happen to anybody. Anybody. So yeah, make sure you're taking care of yourself and learn some basic skills. And it's not like it was back in the day where you like if you didn't have a computer, you know, like you have to go to the library or find a resource. Now everything's online. You literally can learn almost anything off from YouTube, like free 99 off from YouTube. Let that sink in. And what's even worse is that a lot of people don't realize if you don't work for a specific time period, it puts a really big gap for Social Security when you do qualify for it, because the way they do it is they gather how much Social Security you have accumulated throughout the years, and then they give you kind of like a general lump sum. That's an actual formula. So the years that you've generated zero, guess what? That's gonna hurt the amount you're gonna get when you get older. So it's good. It's good that you're saving on childcare, but don't stay that way permanently. And this is both for both females and male spouses. If you're a caregiver, make sure you at least, even if it's part-time, make sure you have some sort of income coming in, because you don't want it to be zero and then you find out at 60 something that you don't get as much as you thought you thought, because you didn't contribute as much as you thought you did. And let's be honest, people are really bad at judging specific things. People overestimate or grossly underestimate certain things. We are all guilty of it. We are all absolutely guilty of this, myself included. Oh, I've only gained 5 pounds 15 pounds later. So, yeah. So, make sure you are taking care of yourself. Make sure you're keeping up with your skills, especially now that we're going into a new year. New year, new life, new thought process. I think my music ended. Let me go over here. Yes, my music did end. Here's my other one. There we go. Cool beans. Okay, cool. Making sure that things are playing. Yep, but that's my big rant for the day. Sorry, guys. It's not just going to these rants. I can't help myself. I do my best to keep my mouth shut for sure. Okay. Okay, I gotta rotate this canvas. There we go. Not perfect, but that is okay. So I want it to be kind of like a bubble. Because obviously there's clearly a floor to this. And then there's an opening. So I might have to put this opening on a separate layer. This will make sense when I'm coloring it, trust me on this. We'll call this opening. So this way I can add color to this, the lines, without having to manually go through these, and it'll be a one quick swoop Okay, and right here, let's go back here. So right here, there's the clips holding the ship. It's very minute detail, but I like having it. Go, so we got that right there. There we go. Oh gosh darn it. Okay, no, it's right. Ooh, I thought I drew that in the wrong layer. God, I love that. Okay, so this is going to be background. Okay. And let me see, do I want to make my background foreground? Right now I'm just going to try to keep everything on the same layer, just for the sake of sanity. But I definitely got to make the stroke a little bit smaller. And these are going to be kind of like their pelican boxes. Yeah, there's a tool there. It looks like a tool. Remember, you don't have to draw every detail. It can be implied that it's full of items. Like, what is nice to draw these details, the fact is just like you don't really need it, especially for something like this where it's like a concept. And now if you do it like a final piece, like a cover, then hell yeah. For this, not so much. These are just really quick snapshots at the world of the Astrocats and pretty much their day-to-day operations, interactions, you know, basic things. Put a little valve there. Totally reminds me of Stranger Things. That's a good series, by the way. I absolutely loved that. I know a lot of people didn't like the last season. It didn't bother me at all. I thought. Now, the one thing I will have to say though, the way that they did the deaths, that really messed me up because it wasn't like a gory death, but it was just disturbing. It's the best way that I can consider. Like people bending like a freaking pretzel. Like what? And it kept showing it. You're like, oh god, guys, I get it. It's a, yeah. I got you enough. I'm good. Okay. So let's figure out some of the light sources while I'm here. Let's just add a couple items, like little parts and stuff. Okay, so my light source is going to come from this area here for sure. And then I'm probably going to have some light coming from here as well. And let's just leave it at that for now. There's probably going to be some overhead lights, but it's kind of like an ambient. If you've ever been to like a hangar, there's like a lot of lights on top, especially a lit one. Okay, so that gives me that. So I'm going to leave this to this. Maybe add a tool or two. Man, I just feel absolutely spent. Like this weather is killing me, and it's not just me. I know a lot of people. I haven't really left my house very much. I'm just doing cardio at home because again, like I spent yesterday, incredibly lightheaded and fuzzy, and right now we got a couple different like COVID strands roaming around, and then you got like the upper respiratory cases that are popping up, and people are on top of each other at the store. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Okay, so let's do that. And then, okay, let's go ahead and drop the opacity on this. And what I really want is them to stand out. I'd rather have him smiling. Okay, and I gotta make sure that it looks like he's looking right at her. Okay. So that's something that I used to have that issue when I was a younger artist. I would always try to show characters engaging, but their eyes never looked like they were locking. So I was now that I'm more seasoned artist, I always make sure that that is something I pay attention to. Okay. Okay, so that from there. Again, looking at my character sheet, make sure my characters stay consistent. Believe it or not, Wobbles is actually, in my head, Wobbles is the youngest brother, even though he's bigger than Walker. Mainly because she is incredibly overprotective over him. And it's because she was born 2 minutes before he was. If you ever meet twins, it's sometimes that will be like an ongoing thing. I'm older because I was born blah blah blah, earlier than you. I've had a couple friends that were twins, and that was a never-ending gag with them. Um, Pretty sure twin number two never appreciated it, but yep. But she is super protective over Wobbles. Wobbles has a very interesting story, which I'm not gonna ruin because we're gonna go to the show. But he does have a prosthetic leg, and there's a story behind that. But he had a life before he joined the FFP, and events happened, and sadly he couldn't keep doing it. So now he is a mechanic, as an engineer. So he can't do what he really originally liked to do, but he is still in the service. And his leg becomes not quite a full point of focus, but a little bit of a part of his personality and how he reacts to things in this show. So I got that arm there, and I gotta be careful. So here is his stripes. Sorry if I'm not really talking too much right now. I'm just kind of focused. You'll notice that sometimes I just kind of like zone out. Okay, I'm also trying to keep track of all these little items on his body. So he's got a belt. And you have to kind of keep in mind what the mask is doing, what's overlapping where. And he also has kind of like a part of his belt is right here. There we go. Alright, so right now he is technically kneeling down. Alright, he does have a pretty thick paw. Then right here, he's got his prosthetic. And there's gonna be a never-ending joke with this prosthetic. I think you guys are gonna love it. So recently I've been making a point to draw more hands because like my hands have been coming up pretty wonky. It happens. You either just stop practicing and then you're going by an ideal instead of what hands look like, and then you start getting some really interesting results like salad fingers like hands. So it's one of those things that once in a while you see me doing a lot of like what's it called, focus studies. So I've been doing a lot of hands and feet, now getting more into the rest of the anatomy, so that way I can just repolish my anatomy some more. It happens to others. Like I said, I've mainly just been focusing on just doing more tech-based work just so I can, you know, put food on the table. But yep. Once I'm done setting up the web page, I'm mainly probably going to start shifting back to doing more 3D work. I'm debating whether to go ahead and try the Clip Studio 3D package or just try to dive into Blender. Even though I've got trained in Maya, I have done SketchUp. Maya is just a little bit out of the budget at the moment because it is like $120. I think it's like $120 a month for Maya. And, you know, I'd rather use Blender, which is open source for now. And it's something we can get for free. And again, we're pretty much a 3-man crew with zero budget. Right now I'm building our site. That's all out of pocket. We're not sitting here like begging for money or anything. We want to make sure we have a pretty good, solid product. We don't want to be like these people, hey, you know, give us money and we might do this thing and then you never see the product. We don't want to be those folks. We want to make sure that we are nice and good and ready before we open a donation anything. But everything's coming out of our own pocket and our own time. I said, this is me doing it and I'm really excited. It's been a long time since I worked on an animation project. And again, we're still in the pre-production phase, but I think when we're done, it's gonna be something unique. It's evolving. We're now like about, let's see, I think Dave is the original creator. He's at least going into like 5 years. Nate was the second in line, and I'm the third. So I'm about 3 years in to this product. So 2019, 20, 21, 22, so about 4 now. About to start 4 years. And it's very fun. It's very fun going through the process, especially with like no resources. Like I said, the software, I pay it all out of pocket. I just save and I get it when I need it. And my Cintiq, well, this is my old one from when I was in college. And I've been saving to replace it because I know at any point, this is an Intuos 2. At any point, this poor stylus is going to die on me, and I'm going to be ready. And sadly, due to COVID, it has become astronomically expensive to get a brand new one. Especially with folks working from home. Yeah, but you take care of your equipment will take care of you. So like I said, this stylus is now like, God, since 2004? Yeah, 2004, 2005. So I got my money's worth out of this stylus for sure. Okay, so there's the controllers. So what I'm probably gonna have her do, so safety first. So she's wearing her gloves. So she's dealing with hazardous materials. See right here. Okay, remember they got like these like shoulder pad things, and there is a mask to them. They're just sitting right here. It's just like this like cup. So if they move forward, because this is a bendable material, it's gonna lift up around their shoulder. She's got like little bootsies. And then keep in mind, I'm keeping track of the chair, the mask. And I was going to draw her with her legs apart, and I thought about it. It looks like she's flashing her brother. That's not cool. No, people sent to freaky shit, but not our Astrocats. They're good, slightly family fun. Slightly. She's wearing gloves. She is holding a cup. So the way that goes is you can see her fingers holding here, and then she's got the cup right here. Kind of like that. Man, that looks awful. Okay, let me rotate this. Okay, this is the mug handle. So like this is the mug handle. So we got thumb, 1, 2, and then the other pinky is like back here. This is hard. This one's hard. I'll do the best that I can. too bad. Okay, she's got... She's got her eyebrow. There we go. There we go. We got that going on right there. Sometimes you have to go back in and clean up the lines a little bit. So again, I keep talking about this, but there's something called the line of confidence. I learned that when I was a caricature artist many moons ago, where you pretty much kind of pre-visualize the line and then you just draw it. And that comes from just years of practice. There really is no shortcut to learning it, and you just have to build your confidence on your artwork. A lot of people tend to draw like this. Yeah, no, let's stop doing that. It loses the rhythm. Just be confident. You can tell a lot about someone's mind state by looking at their line art. Oh, that's a tangent line. There we go. There we go. Come here. Hey. Okay, now let's check it out. Let's see where the gaps are. Oh, that looks fantastic. Let's go ahead and save. And then let's go bold some of these lines up to make it look a little more complete. Let's give them a little more weight. What I love about technology, Control Z, Control Z, woo! Yeah, baby, yeah, baby. And save. Yeah, see, my lines around here are not as confident. It's okay though. Okay, I'm not looking for perfection. So he's pretty much done in a nutshell. I don't need to do much to him. Okay, the other half, however. There we go. So that way it looks like he is one solid body. There we go. I dig it. Okay, and let's put best cis twin, best bro twin. There's like a little chair. Think. There we go. There we go. This is coming along. Alright, let me go ahead and sip over here. Some agua. So I'm getting better. I'm drinking I'm almost close back to a gallon again, which is great. And now in 3 to 4 days without soda. It's pretty good. Of course, because of that, I feel tired of sin. But you know what? It will be worth it at the end. Okay, so now that I have my scene drawn out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to export these to Photoshop. File, save a single layer, PNG, single characters, 100%, PNG, I got you fam. Then now let's head over here and boost this to 100%. I was gonna do two separate ones for this. So file, save a single layer, PNG, base BG, and this will make sense in a moment. Just hear me out. Okay, and then I need to do one more export. File, save as single layer, PNG, Walker, and let's do glass opening. Boop. You know what I really need to get myself? I know it's kind of dumb, but I really want like those like headset with the cat ears. Don't know what I want it. I just want it, you know. There's some times in life, I tell you, life is too short, folks. You want something, get it. You know, obviously, you know, we're talking about things. We're not talking about people. But yeah, life is just way too short, man. I lost too many friends, too many family members. I've been revived twice. So I kind of have a pretty interesting outlook in life. You know, I just chill, go to the flow, and I try not to let stupid things bother me. And actually, the best thing that I probably did earlier in my life, I learned the difference between, excuse me a second, let me grab my tissue. I got my nose. The best thing that I probably learned earlier in life is the difference between what is a legit issue and what is a nuisance. A lot of the times we get like hung up on like things that are like, it seems like a big deal, but they are not. Like, oh no, I got a little fender bender. What? Yeah, you know, depending on the size of your fender bender, you know, it might be a big deal. But the fact is, at the end of the day, as long as nobody got injured, that's what insurance is for. Is it a nuisance? Yes. Is it inconvenient? Absolutely. Is it fun to go through that? Hell no. But it's good to know that it is not something that is like, unless it's like a horrible accident, it's not a life-changing event. It's just annoying, and you probably out $500 because of deductible. But you know, learn the difference between something catastrophic and something that it is a nuisance. And once you learn the differences between that, then you can you can start lowering your stress in your life. And you're talking to someone that constantly is stressed out and anxious. So I have to find little tricks to kind of help myself lower my anxiety down. I'm not even gonna lie. I've been anxious my whole life. Colors. Let's open the colors. Cool beans. Okay, now from here, what I need is my character references. Let me get them real quick. Get Walker. Cool. And let me get Wobbles. Cool. And this is just for color references. Sweet. So from here, I'm also going to create a new layer. And I'm going to borrow swatches. Give me that blue. There we go. Sweet. Again, the reason why I use the blue is because if you're working on a computer all day long, like when I used to do like animation and a lot of coloring, storyboarding, my hours would be long. I'm talking like 12, 16-hour days. And if you're doing it digital, after a while, your eyes kind of start blurring out. So the blue kind of helps you sustain that amount of work that you're doing at the speed that you're doing it. BG. Okay, let me take a look at some of my shipped colors real quick. Okay, so I definitely don't want to Go to assets, items, there's puppet ships. Okay, so these are some of, let me just show you guys. So these are some of the ships that I've designed so far for Astrocats. I'm probably going to go in and do some more refinements once I start going into 3D, but for right now, this is pretty much what I got. And that's completely fine. So I'm going to borrow some of these colors. Now my question is, they're already green, so I don't want to use green on them. Well, let me start with this first. Let me create a new layer. Go ahead and lock this one up. Where's the lock? There you go. That's the lock. Okay, so let's start with a steely blue. Actually, let's start with a warm red because they are green. So you want to have the complement to your red. Green is red. So let's start with like a warm red or warm gray. That way they pop. Okay. So from there, so that's the BG. That's the ground. And then let's go ahead and ship. Let's pick. Okay, let's do that right here. And I might change this a little bit if it's competing too much with the main characters. There we go. Okay, so now from here, this is gonna have some blue over it. So let's drop the color because technically this is kind of glass. Again, I'm trying to avoid having a lot of layers if I can. Go, let's try that. And then this would actually go for the majority of the ship when you really think about it, because all this is ship. And we'll see how it looks like in relation to Grace when she is sitting there. Oops. Okay, there we go. And then let's go for something a little darker. And not dark enough. Zoom in. Yeah, my paint is kind of sloppy because I am always tired. I really need to program the buttons on my thing, but to be quite honest, every time I program them, a new patch comes out and it just jacks all my stuff up. Like legit. So that's the floor there. Like a nice orangey color. That looks doesn't look too bad. Okay, now let's go ahead and pick kind of like a little lighter. Not too close. There we go. Right now, I'm mainly selected for monochromatic selection. Okay, cool. Not the best, but not the worst. And even this, I'm probably gonna give it more steely. So it looks like it's silver underneath. There we go. And then probably here what I'm going to do is going to grab this again, and I'm going to use a gradient. There we go. So I kind of like that. Okay, so down here, let's go ahead and pick this is more like a glass bubble shield. That's pretty much what's happening here. Let's lighten up this colors right here. So again, we're looking at it through lenses. Cool beans. Not good, but not bad. It's just okay. Let's go into the internals here. This is silver. This one is open. So I'm gonna have to draw maybe like a tube somewhere that she is replacing. Right here. Okay, sweet. We're gonna take a look and save that. It's okay. I could keep playing with this. So this is for the ship. Now here's the cool part. Let's say I don't like these colors, right? All I gotta do is go select a adjustment, not levels. Find some contrast. No, let me go over here. Where are you? Here you go. Adjustment layers, hue. So say I don't like that color, I could just simply go over here and I could just swap it. So right now I'm just gonna stick to those colors. Maybe blue might be a better alternative. I'll find out here in a little bit, and then I can just bake it in there. Not a big deal. So we'll find out here shortly. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and get this out a little bit. Okay, cool. Let's go through that. Okay, now that that's done, let's still do stuff on the ground. Stuff on ship color change. So we'll find out where this leads us. Interesting. Why can I not? There we go. So it's something done. Nope. Come on, baby. There we go. Stuff on the ground. Okay, so we're gonna borrow some of this blue. Make it a little gluey. It's weird, like I cannot suddenly not erase that. Why can I not erase that? E. Did I put you in the wrong layer? No. It's the right layer. Suddenly I cannot erase. Okay, I see. So what happened was, right up here, because I'm constantly bouncing between numbers, it dropped the opacity of my eraser. It's always something, usually something silly. Okay. Okay, let's make some of these tools pop up. Alright, cool beans. We got that right there. And sweet. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do this toolbox. I want to do the iconic red toolbox. I mean, do I? Do I? Maybe I do want to do the iconic red box. But definitely a little more muted on the colors for sure. I know, this is like the lamest toolbox in history, but let me have this. I said, and the toolbox is not the focus. My peoples are. There we go. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it at. We'll see. We'll see. I think for right now I'm gonna leave it at the blue for now. Let's see how this goes. Like these. G. E, G. Man, I'm getting hungry. Oh, they're hungry. You sure no one's messaging me? My phone's been blurred out for a little bit. Give me a second. No, nope. Phone's good. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is the glass. So with this, what I want to do, so this belongs to the background. I want to paint transparent. And I want to make sure that this is white. This is why I wanted these separate. And what is going to happen here is, I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to put an overlay, this area right here. Let me create a new layer. I'm going to paint this solid white. And you'll see what I'm about to do. This is going to make sense. Something like overlay or soft white. Then I'm going to drop the opacity a little bit. So it kind of gives it like an pass over every fence. So now it looks like there's a glass overlay and it's just not this just like circle right there. Grass fill. And if I turn this off, let's see how this looks. Not that. Nope, not that. So that's what it looks like in orange. That's what it looks like in blue. So, but again, we have options at this point because of that adjustment layer. I can change it to whatever color I need to. Okay, so now we need to sample some colors. So I'm just going to turn this off for a moment. Layer. Colors. Let me move a little bit. I'm sitting too long on my left butt cheek. Agent like cottage cheese. I need to wash it again. It's rubber, so it's kind of hard to wash sometimes. Okay, so let's dip in. Oops. There we go. Some of her colors are pretty basic, so it works out. And the objective is trying to make the colors as solid as possible. here. Ooh, that gives me that. And her gloves, I'm gonna make her a very obnoxious blue. Like straight up vibrant blue. Like I said, this is why orange might work out. But have you ever been to been to the hardware store? They make like these rubber gloves are either just a thick black or like just this blue that you can see from space. Okay, then let's go over here. Spiral the pink. There we go. And let's go ahead and paint these lines. I'm sure if you noticed that I kept this style consistent every time I draw her. Alright, there we go. So that looks pretty good. I do need to go back, go ahead and re-unlock this. And I need to paint her eyebrows. So that's looking pretty good. Sweet. Go ahead and best sis twin. What I picked? No way. Oh, it's being weird again. What did I do? Oh, because I'm in the wrong layer. Duh. Gosh darn it, Anna. Actually, no. Leave that color because that's going to be partially in shadow. Always pay attention whether you're on, kids. Let's go over to there we go. So now we got her. Now let's get him. Nope, not what I wanted to do. I pretty much put in both of them in the same layer. That's pretty much what I'm doing at the moment. Go, put them right there. And he's got white on his paw. I'm gonna tend to pick some pretty simple colors. I do that on purpose. One, because I'm terrible at selecting colors. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm just bad at it. Yes, I'm one of those colored retard females. Ah, terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Yeah, whoever said all women can pick colors, lies. I am living proof of it. I am not good at selecting colors. Because I think my problem is because I'm aware of so much theory and balances and all that stuff. My mind's like, oh my god, so much crap I gotta keep track of. I don't know what to do with it. Yeah. Let's see, how much have I worked on this? Give me some. Alright, cool. Still within my time range. So I try to pump these out 2 hours at a time. It just keeps me loose. It doesn't allow me to overthink certain things. Just makes it fun, you know? I don't get burnt out working on like a piece week by week by week. And you know, kudos to folks that can do that. I'm just not one of those people that can do that. Like I said, I'm still surprisingly somehow making time for art. Not just this art, but you know, another project that I've been working on for 10 years. That's a very personal project. But I'm also painting, I'm trying to read, I'm exercising. So I'm trying to micromanage my time so I get the most out of my everyday and not waste anything. And I definitely do a lot of multitasking. Especially with chores around the house. If I'm taking a quick break from the computer, you're gonna do dishes. If you're doing a quick break from the computer, then you're gonna do laundry. So I kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But that again, that just works for me, and that's fine. It's always been that way because I've had to do so much in my lifetime for other people. Like I said, I used to be a caregiver. I just learned how to maximize my day. I didn't have time to like dilly-dally and do whatever I needed to do, and I was responsible for other people. So I learned to really micromanage my day. Like really do it. Plus I used to run a business a long time ago. So my friends wants me to reopen my graphic shops again. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. Mainly because the best part about being your own boss is that you're your own boss. The worst part about being your own boss is that you're your own boss. So everything falls on you, and it sounds great on paper, but man, when things go south, there is no one to blame but you. Everything goes to you. So I'm pretty satisfied that I'm in a work job right now where I go in, I do my time, I do my job, and I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. The worst things that happen is that I get laid off and I just find another place. Not a big deal. And I know that sounds boring, but trust me, the stress of running a business, you'll start working ridiculous hours. Like it just absorbs your life. And I have friends that do it. Like, you know, they still do it. I have I have a friend that he runs an animation studio in Tampa. And I've always told him, it's like, dude, I have insane respect for you because, you know, not only is it hard to be an animator, but, you know, you're doing it, you know? You know, you're running a whole studio. That's like his baby. And he loves it. Just through good times and bad times, that is your shtick. I don't have that luxury. I really don't. I'm at the point in my life where I'm trying to make up for lost time. Trying to live my life. A lot of my friends got to live their lives. I was not that fortunate. Like I said, I was a caregiver, so I couldn't put myself first. So that's why I'm 40 with no kids, because I was taking care of my family. Which, you know, it is what it is. Oops, really. Alright, let's go and do that. Alright, so now let's turn that on with the background. Okay, let's see what works out better. I just don't want it to, I don't want it to compete with the characters. Let me... That looks like it's competing too much with them. That's definitely competing too much with them. They get absorbed because they're wearing green. Let me look at the color wheel real quick. When in doubt, look at the color wheel. Okay, so let me go to images. So the green and yellow. Okay, I think I know what to pick. What I could do is I could drop the saturation down a little bit. Okay, I kind of like that because it's got the complementary color. The uniforms are mainly green, which the complementary is red. So, but it is a pushback, low saturated color of it. And keep in mind, this is only a 51. So I don't want to go too low that it loses everything. So right around there should be pretty good. So I kind of like that. Yeah, so let's leave that right there. That works fine for me. So, and keep in mind that they have yellow and green. So it's kind of like a fuchsia, so it's technically a split complementary. So if doing like a fuchsia, it's going to be like a neon green, but because it's doing the colors to the side, it's doing a split complementary. Alright, so, yep. So sold. Yeah, that's a little much. Let's stick with that. Okay, cool. Now let's go ahead, Walker. Oops, what did I just do? Okay, so I need to go to Walker. I need to go to this glass fill, and I need to delete her section. There we go. That way it looks like she is popping out and she's not getting affected by that right there. See? There we go. That's how you do that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and figure out some of these light sources. Now, there is 2 of them in here. There is one in the tank in here. And let's go ahead and do... And again, you gotta be careful when selecting the colors not to take away from the main characters. Hey, meow meow, I see you. Not bright enough. What are you doing, you butt? My cat's doing things in the background. I have to pay attention to her because sometimes she does some serious shenanigans. Like legit. I found her locked up in my closet, even though I made sure it was clear. She must have like snuck in 2 seconds after I turned my back. It's just a little doo-doo head. I'm alright, little doo-doo head. I love my little doo-doo head. She's special. Okay. So from here, go borrow these. I'm going to do Control J. Then I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's go with that. But from here, what I'm going to do is a oh, that's a smudge. I don't want to do that. Go to history. There we go. By the way, if you have not watched it, the new Bleach is absolutely phenomenal. Just mind-blowing. It's good. Just watch it. It's good. Absolutely good. Sorry, there's like so many screens I got open. There you go. I like that. Okay, cool. So this kind of sticks to my regular art style. Okay, so let me give her red glow. So this shows that she is in the environment and she's still kind of getting exposed to that. And I'll work on the shadows here shortly. I don't like the light good on this. Okay, cool. So that gives me that. Okay, so that's the red glow there. Then let's go to Wobbles over here. So Wobbles has this table here. So filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Okay, I like that. Let's just gonna leave it there. And then let's go ahead add a blending mode. Okay, cool. And from here, let's draw a couple nonsense things in here. So some basic specs. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, guys. It's just implied. Okay, cool. So that does basic graphics, and then there's the glow. Okay, so content, glow. God, I've been bad. What is this? Okay, red glow. So let's go do this. Red glow. Red glow. Okay, so from him, I need to borrow this color. And then let's go ahead and do blue. Oh, definitely his leg is metallic. little bit on the hair. Cool. So it looks like the light is glowing down from above. Technically, that should be, because that's still getting hit by some of that light. That'll be a little too much. So that looks like the light's coming up from him. Okay, now, so it gives me that. So let's go and work with some of these shadows. I do need to add a little bit of blue onto this, but right now that's a little bit a different detail here. I also gonna add a little bit of that blue, because remember this is a glass surface. It's gonna pick up some of that blue. Same thing right here with the mug. Keep in mind the mug might also pick up a little bit of this red too. Kind of like it the other way better. As much as I thought it would. Okay. Oops. That's what we got so far. Alright, not too bad. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit of depth. Oh, a little bit of shadow. Where am I at on this? Okay, cool beans. So 139. This might actually take me a little bit longer than the 2 hours, but it is totally fine because it is looking super cool and I'm pretty happy about it. Okay, so next we need to do is work on the shadows. And normally, you guys know I usually tend to pick... Now, there is a third light source in here that we're not seeing, and that is coming from the top. So before I do anything else, let me establish that. That'll be coming from the top. And again, this is just for my guidelines. I can actually change this out a little bit later. But let's go ahead. And this is where this gets really, really kooky. Normally I do this at the end, but... that's way too hard. Okay, for right now, let's just leave it alone right there. And even then, that's a really, really permeating light. Give me a second. Delete. There we go. So let me zoom out a little bit more. So remember, this light is coming from above. There we go. So that is a little more acceptable. So let's go ahead from there. Okay, upper light. Man, I am incredibly hungry. Like, I didn't realize how hungry I was. Alright, so we have the light source coming from above. A couple of things I need to do here. What's in here? Anything in here? Nope. Nothing in here. Excellent. So let's go ahead and figure out the shadows. Now this is going to be a pain in the ass because we have one light right here. Two lights here. These are minor lights and this one from the top. Now there's still going to be some shadows casted. So let's deal with that. Now you guys know I tend to use normally dark blue. I just like using the dark blue. To me it feels a little more natural. And I know it's gonna look weird at first, but I really don't care. Oh, let me switch to my pencil tool. There we go. And again, there really is no right or wrong way to doing this. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. This has been my technique for a while. For here, you're gonna see part of his shadow coming down because this is from here. Because the main light source is coming from above. It's the main light source here. And that's why my mind is tracking a little bit. Where is the shadows coming from? But I also have a little bit of a drop here because you have light source coming in here as well. This is where it gets really funky. Shadow right there. Okay, now from here, what do I want to add the rest of my shadows? This is gonna look crazy as sin, just bear with me. Okay, and what it's gonna end up looking like, it's gonna be not overlay. I don't want to say multiply, but I'm gonna lower this down to at least my usual 30%. There we go. 30's my go-to for sure. Okay, so that kind of gives me that. Normally there's a shadow here, but there's a light source coming from the ground up. So this is hitting him down here in the chin. So not a lot of light source there. A little bit in the ear here coming from the top. So a little bit on the hair, but not a lot. Yeah, lights get really tricky. Like, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Holy hell. Right here, so we're showing some volume. And right here at the bottom of the cup, we already got it, which is great. So nothing too crazy so far, which is good. Okay, now for her, she is leaning forward. There's going to be a little bit, definitely some shadows here. See if he goes over here. Okay. And with her, she's going to have a little bit of shadow right here in these edges. Nothing too outlandish. And because these characters are simple, I really cannot go too crazy with the shading. Because it just really takes you out of the world if I just go too nuts on the highlights and shadows. Oh, that's right, it's not going to show there. Gosh darn it. Wait, is it not? Let's see. Oh, definitely a shadow here. Even though you can't really see it, it's the one that shadow drawn in, trust me. Just a little bit in the hair. Okay, so I think now we're just down to giving the ship some volume. Obviously, definitely want to add a little bit of glow to this box here. Blue glow. Box glow. Then with shift. Should we? So it shows that it's getting hit by it, but it's not too permeate. Like it's not too crazy on the tones. Now it will get a little bit of that strong blue on the edge here to show some thickness to the box. There we go. Alright, now let's go ahead and add some dimension to these backgrounds right here. The last thing I want to add is maybe a little bit of stain, because obviously they're working with oil and all kinds of stuff, so I want to make sure they look like they're dirty, nothing too crazy. Remember, indoor light tends to be kind of more iridescent. So it tends to have more natural blues to it. Or much whiter. There we go. Then let's drop you down just a smidget. There you go. Just faint little details. Okay, now let's go back to the ship here. So I'm going to duplicate this. And I'm going to mess with just this. Okay, so I'm going to set this color. And believe it or not, I'm going to go back to my old friend Dodge and Burn. Maybe because this is more of a rounded surface. Just to give it a little bit of dimension, nothing too crazy. I'll show you that one is. It's a metallic surface. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I don't give too much of a value, because it will look like the characters don't fit in the world. There we go. There we go. It feels like I'm missing something. Let me go ahead and go full view and take a look. And remember, it's not a very crazy... Okay, I think I know what I want. I want to add some color lines to the tubes and to the glow of it to really show that they are glowing. So I think once I add that, it should be good to go. Okay, so give me a second. So be background. It's this red. Maybe just a smidget darker. That's too close. Brrr. What's up, baby? Yes, Mamo. There we go. So that gives it the illusion of like a tube. So it's a nice glowy look to it. So I like that. And then over here, I wonder maybe going lighter might work. I'm gonna go light. I really gotta go light. There we go. So kind of like that. There you go. So now they have like that nice glow element to them just by simply coloring the line art. Sometimes like the cheapest tricks are like the best tricks is what I just come to learn. Just fast, dumb, and easy. Okay, I do want to add some. Let me do this real quick. Code characters. These are references. These can bounce. Do I need those? Yeah, whenever you're close done to like really close to an image, just get rid of any excess stuff you don't need, any layers you're not using, because it just makes your file incredibly big for absolutely no reason. So yes, please get rid of any unnecessary necessary layers. What are these, you may ask? These are oil stains. Okay, let's give it a oops. Oh crap, did I actually draw that straight in that layer? Gosh darn it. Ugh, I hate it when I do that. God, I swear to God, if I had $1 for every time I done that. Yeah, stuff gets spilled a lot in here. Okay, and then drop it to like... Just kind of gives it a little extra texture. Drop. There you go, like really soft stains. Like they have been there for a little bit. So just to kind of give it some texture. The only spot I didn't add too much detail, I think it was just here. This is the stains for is stuff on the ground. Yep. There we go. So I kind of like that a little bit better. Not too much texture that is taken away from the characters, but there's still kind of some textures on the ground on there. We got 2 glowing points, which is pretty much the machine over there and the light from the floor, and then obviously they have the iridescent coming from the sky. Could I add more to this? Yes. Do I want to? No, because I don't want to take too much away from their interaction. And if I wanted to push this back, there we go. So that gives it more of, so what I did is, this is at 100%, it's a little too bright. But if I wanted to make it look more ambient, then I'm pushing it back by a little bit, and it makes it look like they really stand out a little bit more. So I think 80 is too much, maybe 85. Right there. So that looks a little bit better to me, and it looks more natural. Yeah, I like that a lot better. I don't feel like my characters are competing too much with the background anymore. So that's 0. That's pushing it. And then that right there, they stand out a little more. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for right there. So I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, I could go lower, but that looks like they're like sitting on ghosts, which makes absolutely no sense. So 85% it is. Okay, and with that, let's put the piece de la resistance, which you guys know what that is. No piece of Astrocats artwork is finished until we add the official Astrocats logo. Yay! Astrocats logo. Beep. Oh, these two bad boys can go. There we go. And with that, kids, I am done. And let me see my time. Yeah, just 2 minutes shy of 2 hours. As you guys know, I give myself pretty much a 2-hour turnaround from beginning to end when I make these illustrations. So, but all in all, guys, I just appreciate you guys joining me. Like I said, we're currently right now putting our website together, so hang on tight. We're really trying to push forward right now so we can try to pitch this project. So and I'm just kind of giving it the final spruces, at least for pre-production side. My peers are taking care of like the script writing. We're trying to do a few more like audio clips. I know they're rough, guys. I know the animation is rough, but again, we're a team of 3 people doing this on our own time, 0 money, and we're not doing a GoFundMe or nothing. So we're just really doing this on our own as best as we can. So, but it's going to get better now that I'm pretty much done with a lot of, as soon as I'm done with the page, I'm probably going to start now helping with the animation since I created a lot of the assets for it. And I want to start working into like an intro, but I need to build the assets and backgrounds. The animation takes a hot minute to produce, like it genuinely does. So, and I don't have a team, it's just me and the writer is not a trained animator, so bear with us. But yeah, in the meantime, I'll continue to make some of like these illustrations. I said the webpage is coming along, and I appreciate you guys joining me, especially guys. Thank you for your patience this past week. I was just sick. I mean, sick last week, then I got back up, then I got sick again, and it's just, it doesn't stop. Like in the state of Texas, if it's not the weather, it's the pollen. If it's not the pollen, it's something else. Something's always out to get you. It's a deadly state. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys joining me. Thank you for watching me sketch one more illustration. There is one more that I want to do, but it's going to involve the Guppy Empire, which is pretty much the season 1 bad guys. So that's probably going to be drawing next time. But for tonight, I need to take a break. And I wanted a game, but again, I'm very hungry and I'm very tired and I'm still slightly sick. So I probably won't be able to do that today. If I'm not playing D&D tomorrow, then I'll probably sketch another round tomorrow. But in the meantime, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.